Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for supports if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye.
Welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today, I'm going to be discussing whether or not if the dinar revaluation and a currency reset is going to take place in the month of July. Now, there's a prophecy from somebody I've never heard of before. They call him Dr. Brett Watson. He was on Manuel Johnson's Mega Praise Ministry show, and he's sharing a prophecy that's alluding to the fact that this is supposed to happen in the month of July. Now, before we get into this, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing information, giving you my thoughts and my opinions on that information. If you guys want to support what I do, the links are down below in the description. Now, folks, I've been around doing this for a very long time, listening to prophecies, sharing prophecies, and I've gotten to a point to where a lot of times when I see people giving prophecies and it goes against what we've already heard before, then I pretty much know that that prophecy is not going to come to pass, and I've been right every single time when it comes to these people giving dates and time frames and everything else concerning a dinar revaluation or other events. And this is very important because when this prophecy came out, this particular prophecy and the speculation, just because Iraq met with the UN on the 18th, right, which all they did was just reestablish ties again. Right, there was a lot of speculation from the dinar gurus that it was going to revalue in the month of July. So a lot of people were saying that. And so then all of a sudden now we're starting to see some prophecies and people are prophesying off of what the gurus are saying. Oh, Iraq had this meeting. Oh, Iraq had that meeting. Oh, something big is getting ready to come. I've heard that ever since 2009. It took me a few years to wake up from all of it, but that's the fact. So in this particular prophecy, as I have right here, this is prophetic money. I don't always agree with what his stance is on some of these different people and their prophecies, but he does a good job that we could go back and we can look to see what actually was said and what takes place. So this is how I heard about the prophecy. And I'm just going to read it really quick, and then I'm going to play it because this is very important when we're dealing with prophecy, who you're listening to. And when you see somebody on somebody else's show, like Manuel Johnson, who's got every single financial prophecy I know wrong before, and he's prophesied a lot of things dealing with the president. He had an open vision or whatever he said he claimed to have, and that Trump was going to be back in office in 2022. We know God didn't show him that vision. It had to be something else that showed him that vision. So I don't believe anything that Manuel Johnson says anyway. And he always prophesizes after the fact, after everybody else is prophesying these things, and then he pretends he's clueless, that he's never heard some of these things before or heard any of these investments before. So in this post, he says, Iraq will shout, celebration shall be. I told you a currency break and revalue there would be. The Middle East shall cease with peace. The transfer will happen. The hour of a transfer is now. Right on top of you. Now let me stop right there. He's saying the hour of the transfer is now. He said currency break and revalue. Okay, that doesn't mean that's soon. That doesn't mean next month. He's saying right now. Prepare for a great abundance than you ever dreamt. Watch now, the currency shall change. He says, watch now, the currency shall change. So we're waiting and watching for the currency to change. The rates will go up. The beginning of the wealth transfer, I will now give unto thee. So he's saying now, the beginning of the wealth transfer, I will give now unto thee. So that means right now, folks. This is not something that's going to happen in a year. This is not something that's going to happen in a month. This is something that is going to happen right now. The hour of transfer, the transfer of trillions of dollars in the wealth transfer. The time of great promises are now coming to you. Let's scroll down. For I release to you the wealth of nations. Watch, I say, to the month of 7, July. For I say it shall be a month of surprises and great advancement. Now, keep in mind, he put out this prophecy after the attempt on Trump's life. All right, so he says here, watch, I say to the month of 7, July, for it shall be a month of surprises and great advancement. Now, I'm going to play the prophecy because there's a lot of in between there. So with what happened with Trump and then them calling for Biden to step down and all that stuff before this prophecy was actually released to the public, because he claims that some of these prophecies happened before, and everybody was calling for strange July, before July started, right? Then it was Biden and him stepping down, right? So people are saying it's strange. Why would it be strange if we knew that it was going to happen anyway? We knew that it was going to happen. Now, the attempt on Trump, but that doesn't mean it's strange. They've been talking about it for some time, so it wasn't a surprise. So I'm not too for sure if this is the strange July that people are saying that Kim Clement prophesied about. Right, we still have a few more days, so let's go ahead and listen to the prophecy. And the title of this video is Urgent Revelation on Economy, Foreign Currencies. So Mega Praise, Manuel Johnson is trying to make it seem like this is urgent. You got to do this right now. This is an urgent prophecy. This is an urgent prophetic word. So let's go ahead and get right into the prophecies so you can hear it for yourself.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I am a deep sleeper. To come up out of my sleep and to even be thinking about some type of a rhyme or riddle, it's not the way that I flow. I'm telling you. 2:33 a.m., Iraq will shout, throw their hands in the air, and dance in the streets as if it was a fun fair. The time has come, celebration shall be. I told you a currency break, and revalue there would be. The Middle East shall cease with peace. From the night, darkness shall give way to the morning light. A transformational shift, a move of my hand, with a triggered release. All the world will shift, and it shall be grand, like the pomp and circumstance of the entrance of a band. The transfer will happen. My people changed in a moment too. The hour of a transfer is now right on top of you.
Okay, so that's where he says a transfer right on top of you. So he's saying that it's now. Are we there? How much grace do we give with this prophecy if he's saying it's now? He didn't say next month. He's saying now.
The world will shift. All countries shall change its course. The financial blessing of my people will be received like a main course. Did I not say that the table was set? That you would sit with me and rejoice from faith and past obedience? I said you would never regret. Well, now is the time. The season has come. The invitations have been sent. Prepare now for a great abundance and more than you've ever dreamt.
Now is the time, the season has come. He's saying that it's right now.
The invitations have been sent. Prepare now for a great abundance and more than you've ever dreamt. Watch now. The currency shall change. The rates will go up.
He said, watch now. The currency shall change. The rates will go up. He said, watch now. Okay, he's not saying watch next week. He's not saying watch next month. He's not saying watch next year. He is saying now.
This is the beginning of the overflowing of your cup. But it's just the beginning, I say. I say it again to thee. The beginning of great wealth I will now give unto thee. Heaps and heaps, my rewards of your faithfulness to me.
He says here, but it's just the beginning of great wealth I now give unto thee.
Say it again to thee. The beginning of great wealth I will now give unto thee. Heaps and heaps, My rewards of your faithfulness to me, bountiful blessings, I will release unto thee. Glory to God. The time of worry will come to an end. The wondering of how and asking me, Lord Jesus, when? All changes like a thief in the night, in a moment's notice, like the blink of your eye. You have waited for this moment. You have waited for this time. I tell you now, it is going to be time to run. Rest and prepare again, I say unto thee. The bells are ringing, and your praises shall come up to me. But I shall give, and I will give, and I will give more than you even think. The time for the overflow has come, and it'll come with a blink. So rest now. Sleep, dream, imagine, people too. For the time of great promises are now coming to you. I love
Great promises are now coming. So he's saying now.
you so much. It's just the beginning, I say. Get ready, get ready. I love you in a big way, says the Spirit of the living God. Hallelujah.
Wow. Wow.
That was the word. May the 3rd at 2:33 in the morning, Dr. Manuel.
Okay, it doesn't matter when you receive your dream or vision. I don't care. Oh, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever. And just to go back over, he ended the prophecy and then he started prophesying again.
Now this was 6:30, June the 30th at 7:16 a.m., the day before July began. He said, watch, I say, to the month of 7, July. For I say it shall be a month of surprises and great advancements. I say I have brought this to you for this time and this season of reestablishing. And then he goes on and he says,
And then God goes on. Okay, so there's a reason why people are assuming this, because when he is prophesying, he kept saying now. Now is the wealth transfer. Now. He heard now. Not next month, folks. And so with him saying July, right, the month of July, surprises and so on, we don't know. He's just now talking about this prophecy and really just releasing it to everybody else. So now, because what happened with DJT and the attempt on him, now he's releasing this prophecy as it's supposed to add to the strange July phenomenon. I've shared with you before that I don't think that what happened with DJT, it was expected, so it can't be strange. Same thing with Biden. It was expected, so it can't be strange. Right? It's not strange to us. If we know in the prophetic these things were going to happen anyway, if we know according to the world and what they were saying, these events were going to happen anyway, even Alex Jones, who had been talking about the attempt on his life even years before, and they were even talking about it back when he was first running for president and when they didn't want him to run as president. All right, so it shouldn't be strange to anybody that these things happened. It's all an illusion to make you think as if it's so strange. It's not strange. What has been strange about July other than those two events that were already expected to happen? Now, this is supposed to be an urgent revelation on economy and foreign currencies. So this guy here, Dr. Brett Watson, is saying that the hour of transfer is now. And he's telling you to watch now, the currency shall change. And he says, the beginning of great wealth I now give unto thee. Okay, he keeps saying it now. If you listen to the whole video, Mr. Brett Watson has been involved with the Dinar currency for over 12 years. So he's been watching currencies, and then, I guess he's a prophet or something. I don't know. I never heard of him before. He gets put on the show, and he says all these prophecies that are supposed to happen now. So today is July the 29th. There is only a couple more days left in July. Right? So when somebody says now, how much grace do you give to somebody when they say it's getting ready to happen right now? He claims that this prophecy came in May, the bulk of it. Prophecy about the month of 7, July, came a day before July, which, we don't have any proof of that. So when I look at this, I personally do not think that this prophecy is going to come to pass. Let me tell you why. Because first of all, it goes against all the other prophecies that we know about concerning the dinar and when it's going to revalue, when things seem at their worst. And it seems like people can't get that through their head every time they make these prophecies or even predictions, right? There's some Christian YouTubers who talk about the dinar every day, and they don't even pay attention to the prophetic. They pay attention to what their inside intel is saying, and that's why they're always making these bad predictions that never manifest, right? But from what he is saying right now, when I compare it to the words of Kim Clement and some of the other prophecies that have came forth, this does not line up with other prophecies. If he's saying that the hour of transfer is now, right? Maybe he's just referring just to the currencies. Maybe he's not referring to the whole wealth transfer, because we know that in a real wealth transfer that has occurred in the past, there are trillions of dollars that exchange hands. With every major downturn cycle with the markets, there have been at least 10 different times where there were major drops in the market where trillions of dollars changed hands. He's only referring to, I believe what he's talking about here is the revaluation of currencies. He says something else. The Middle East shall cease with peace. And somebody else, I believe Manuel Johnson, even tried to prophesy something similar to that. Then that's when things are going to change. That's not what Kim Clement said. So my final thoughts on this, that we are not going to see the dinar revaluation in the month of July, as some people are saying. And you know, it's funny that when these things come up within the dinar community, right, and they're talking about Iraq meeting with UN on the 18th, and then you start to see all these people all of a sudden prophesying it, and all of a sudden talking about it in the wealth transfer, when we know that we have been dealing with this for a very long time, and people still have not learned. Most of you should already know to stay on the foundation of the prophecies that were already laid before us. Every prophet or every messenger or every dreamer that has came out and given dates and time frames has failed. Every dinar guru who's given dates and time frames have failed. And there were prophecies before Kim Clement, because I got involved in 2009, and I was listening, and I was involved in the chat rooms, and I was listening. We had hundreds of people online listening. I was part of that. And people would talk about the dreams and visions that people were having then. So, but since Kim Clement is something that people kind of use across the board, well, it goes against what Kim Clement said. A lot of these prophets, so-called prophets, are running around and saying things that do not line up with the original prophecies. So I knew about the prophecy, and this is just now my chance of, getting it out there. But I knew, I'm like, okay, here we are in the middle of July, and he's putting out this prophecy. And if it happened, his ministry would blow up and all this. Oh, you said it was in the month of July and all this and all that. That's what people would do. That all of this right now, if we come out of July and this prophecy does not happen, then this prophecy is a failed prophecy. Because I'm not going to interpret now as next month or next year. And he kept saying now, now, now. And I told you when you should start buying dinar again. I understand that if you don't have any, you just want to buy some to have it, but there's going to be a point in time when you're going to buy the dinar. And it's not going to be when there's a calmness. So anyways, folks, that is all that I have for this today. I thank you guys for listening. God bless. TC out.